Yeah, November 6th, 2013. Um, I thought I'd basically bring out a video today, just give a little update on what's going on with the sun. The sun, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention lately, but for the last 30 days, before the 30 days, before October 1, it went into a silent mode for a long time. Hardly had any eruptions, any flares. And then as soon as Ison came by Mars, which was around October 1st, it created a giant coma around Mars and formed an electric barrier that goes completely around it. Now, a lot of scientists teach that comets are just nothing but big snowballs in space. Well, I've been studying these for a while, and I'm telling you that comets are not made out of ice, and that they have an electrical charge to them, and then the sun really reacts differently to the size of the comet. Now, this comet's pretty good size. The coma is about the size of 4 Earths. So you've got that traveling through space right now of about 2 million to 3 million miles an hour, coming directly right towards the sun. Now, I believe it's November 28th is when it gets closest to the sun. And right now it's doing this. So we're having quite a few M-class, X-class flares. And before we were being grazed, and we have a couple of sunspots. One's 1890, which is huge, growing by the day. It's getting bigger and bigger. And yesterday on the 5th we had an X-class 3.3 that is grazing the planet. And then we've had a couple of M-class flares that are basically hitting the planet as well. So I have a feeling that the closer Ison gets, and based on what it's been doing for the last 30 days, the worse these are going to get. And it's going to have we're going to have problems with our power grid, communication satellites, anything that we rely on through satellites or the internet, phones. Any of this stuff is going to start seeing problems. Canada is having a lot of issues right now with their power grid because of just the way they do their electrical there, but it's not near as high tech as ours, and they cut back on a few things, which causes them more issues when they have problems with this kind of thing hitting it. So the bottom line, we better keep our eyes awake and watchful for what this sun's doing. Every day we're having M-class flares or X-class. We're having a ton of C-class flares, which, those are not to be brushed off. Any filament eruptions, CMEs, also can happen along with these flares. So it's kind of funny that the government right now is getting ready to do a power grid test or run on the 13th. I find that very unique, since Ison's going to be passing through here between those times, between now and the 28th. So is it coincidence? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. But I know one thing: I don't trust anything the government has to say. You can't believe anything they say, so you have to rely on private sectors to give you your information. Now, this site here, Soho, if you watch them occasionally, they'll cut out 6 to 7 hours worth of footage, so you can't see it. So we're not even getting everything we want to see on this. But right now, if you notice that the explosions that are going on, they reach out there very far. Now, this is Soho. This is Lascaux 3. We're usually to the right of the sun. The little circle in the middle is the sun. The blue section cuts down on the glare, so you're able to view the flares or the eruptions from the sun. This camera here, anytime that you see these square sections appear, it means it's being hit with the flare itself. So they get a lot of damage from these sometimes, and sometimes they have to shut them down just to protect the lenses. So I say we keep an eye out, be watchful. The Lord said we would see signs in the moon, sun, and the stars. Well, I don't know what's going on. I find it very coincidental that Ison and the sun are both reacting at the same time. And we're having an uptick in earthquakes and volcano activity. So the more and the closer that Ison gets to the sun and between Earth, the more we're going to see reactions from the sun and on our earthquakes and volcanoes. And I think they're going to increase in intensity as well. So something to be aware of. I know right now Yellowstone Park's starting to react, or starting to have a lot of earthquakes, and they're starting to have sizable ones there. And I believe the ground there in the last 2 to 3 years has risen a few inches, the whole entire park. That's one of the largest volcanoes in the world. So it's something to be concerned with. If that went, it would take out most of the United States. So we need to be watchful. We need to pray and ask God for direction for what's coming in the next few weeks, along with the economy, with the food distributions right now going on with the food stamp cards, the military all preparing for riots, this grid test that's going on the 13th. All of these things go hand in hand. I don't believe in coincidences, never have. So anyway, you folks have a great day. This is just a quick update. Hopefully this sun will calm down soon. You guys have a great day.